we don't have quorum. Gary is out, on medical. We're wishing him well. Claire has a conflict with, work. And, I'm assuming Lola has a conflict, because I haven't heard from her, so. But, services, so under seniors, I did reach out, left a message with, Regan and, haven't heard back, for any data. So I don't really have any updates or data of what's going on at the senior center. I do have the surveys here. My goal is to set up, I spoke to Bliss and left a message for Providence Hall. And my goal is to set a date and, if everybody can, I'll set a date and see if anyone's available to kind of table at the Bliss and try to get some information, from the survey. We'll just ask people, we'll send a flyer up, say we're going to be there and see if some people come in, either fill out the survey or we can assist them in filling out the survey. I have about 75 surveys. If we can do 50 as a sample, I think that's a good sampling to see what is the barrier for seniors attending the senior center, especially if it's based on the transportation. Because if it is transportation, then I think we should probably figure out how we could, recommend or, have something available on a daily basis or something on a better schedule for them. So at the end, I'll if you want to take a handful, Jen, or whatever, or you can just take some and then I'll let you know when we can show up or whatever.
Have you talked to anybody about the bus situation, the little bus to take them?
The little bus?
We're filling out this
Well,
survey, but
well, the thing would be, right, it'd be, because there's a bus that goes, past it, they stop there on a daily basis, the shuttle bus. So my goal is to, if there's conflict, is to time it, right? If they're not going often enough,
okay,
right? Because that is that's a long route. You can stay on the bus, from point A to point B for maybe 25 minutes to get up the street.
yep,
But if we can do something on a smaller scale, I spoke to Cal and he's willing to assist if
Right.
using the vans or something on
Okay.
a smaller scale.
Yeah.
Which allows us to have a smaller scale and have a better schedule.
Yeah.
In terms of, and also this, the Office for the Aging does have a van. That if we, work with them, they might be able to provide some assistance with transportation, because that's what they do. It's for recreation, it's for shopping and things like that. So if they can do a couple of days, a week, providing, the transportation. So it's not everyone hitting, it's just the idea of figuring out what schedule works, what time frame, right? Because I think the counties are from about 10 to 1.
9:30 to 2, technically, sometimes they leave a little earlier.
Right, so, the goal is to, right, but also to stay after 2 and have some activities or some socialization at the senior center.
Can you explain to me, we don't have a senior commissioner for the city of Hudson.
Right.
We will not be having one, is that the case?
The appointment's done by the mayor,
Right,
so, I don't know what the intentions are.
okay,
I said he was working on that. I think he intends to.
So, but, that would be ideal because that's the help, right? Because that person can take up and work on programming, because I think also they're not going to attend if there's no programming going on, right?
Right.
So, our activities. So, and there's volunteers out there. It's just guy tapping into the volunteers and working, but there's got to be someone. And Reagan's job is not that. Reagan is a account clerk,
right,
so that's not her position
right,
to do any of that.
okay,
You know, eventually I would love to have some kind of database, you know, of members that
Right.
information can be sent out to them.
right,
Whatever means works for them.
right,
Whether it's, you know, sending it down to Bliss and having it posted, right?
right,
I know Crosswinds, if you give them the flyers, they will hand deliver them to the doors. You know, so that's another option too, is once we have, you know, activities going on, I think that will bring in, you know, people, but with no one spearheading it.
wouldn't it be more important to hit Providence Hall first, since they're primarily older people that live there?
Providence and Bliss, yeah. Absolutely, I want to hit, Providence is one of the ones too. Not just Bliss.
I'm happy to go in person if you haven't gotten a phone call, I can,
I left a message for Eleanor,
okay,
so, I'm sure they're gonna be, no issues, right?
All right.
But I know they have like certain days, they have like lunch and inns, and so I think that'd be a great time is when,
okay,
combine it with an activity they're got going on.
right,
Because that's what we did at my job, right? We just kind of combined it a little bit,
yeah,
to be available with the table and kind of just catch them, right?
okay,
But, you know, but they're also, you know, Providence has 55 plus.
mhm,
And, you know, I think if you're 55, right, I don't think that you should be exempt from the senior center either, right?
No.
Especially if, you're at Providence, right? So,
right,
and I'm thinking, just the nature of the beast that I work with, transportation is always the barrier. Safe transportation. So that's basically it for the seniors. So the next one, we'll wait for Calvin, because Calvin usually comes at 6 o'clock. We'll wait for Mr. Calvin, but before, Mr. Calvin, you start, I hate to put this burden onto you, but here is the World Cup game for you, for the littles. The only condition is there has to be an Italy team. So make sure someone represents
Team Italy.
the team in Italy. So it's a little World Cup electronic soccer game. So since the World Cup is around the corner, I'm thinking camp, whatever, and, you know, represent and have a little fun with it. Okay, so,
awesome,
okay, so it's all yours. The floor is yours, Mr. Calvin.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Here to report on behalf of the Department of Youth. So a few things. Good evening, everyone. I am here reporting on behalf of the Department of Youth, giving an update on what's happening. So we are transitioning, we're approaching the tail end of after-school programming and transitioning into Oakdale summer camp. So part of that prep includes interviewing staff. We intend to bring on board roughly 16 staff to support the needs of camp. That would be specific to the counselors. And we're going to have roughly 18 lifeguards to support camp, as well as public swim hours. I'll give another mention about the opening of the beach later in the presentation. And so beyond that, you know, again, we're just we're gearing up for camp. And so I just wanted to kind of highlight what prep for camp looks like. It involves a training week, the week prior to the start of camp. And for us, it goes beyond the fun and games. It's really about a safety first culture that's emphasized throughout orientation, that focuses on emergency protocols, allergy management, and conflict resolution. This ensures that there's consistency across the board. And this training is had for all of the members of camp.
How, is that done, 'cause in the past, DOH did it at the college, is that done at the college where all the county playgrounds go, or is that just sitting place?
Yeah, so our training traditionally over the past 2 years has been specific to Oakdale, and Oakdale staff specifically. with regards to the Department of Health, they do come in for the pre-camp, and during camp inspections to make sure everything is up to par.
Yeah.
But in addition, the training also includes CPR and first aid training. So that's something, again, that's geared towards safety, whether it be at the playground or, at the, at the water. All of our staff are versed in CPR and first aid.
And you have an AED?
Yes, we have, three AEDs. And so, with our next slide, just highlighting some of the programs that we have, going on currently at the department. One of which is, art with Joan. Joan has been with us for, I think, 3 years now. And she's been really, terrific. Right now, she is doing a abstraction art unit, with our kids that will be highlighted, later in the presentation. Another, program that we're intending to kick off is doing a flag football pilot. So we're looking to introduce a 3-week flag football program for grades K through 6. And so with that, being the theme, last month, we attended the, girls flag football team. Hudson has a girls flag football team, and they compete with some of the surrounding schools. I think it was, or Troy, actually, they played, last month. And so it was really cool just to see some of our kids out there, some of those girls come to program, some of their siblings are in program. So it was just a really neat, field trip for us to attend and support our female athletes.
Where would be the flag football games be held?
In collaboration with the district. So these would take place, pretty much on the turf field there.
Right, good.
At the school, yeah. And, another collaboration, that we are doing, for after school programming is, Kumba Kids. That's in collaboration with Operation Unite, and I'll highlight that a bit more, in the presentation. But, overall, we're looking forward to May being just as successful as last month in terms of programming. And so with the next slide, this just gives you more of some of the visuals of the abstract art unit. The kids, attended a field trip, at Light Forms, the Front Room Gallery, and there was an artist, Garth Evans, that was doing a watercolor exhibition at Hudson Hall. So here are some of our kids, attending either the field trip or hands-on at the, youth center, creating, their abstract art. I believe there was a clay component in there as well. And that class is, the art class is, averaging about 10 kids, in that program. And this here is the, Kumba Kids. And so, Kumba Kids, it's again, a collaborative effort with Operation Unite. This is a energetic class. It primarily involves, movement, rhythm, and cultural expression through dance and drumming. And it generally includes music, movement, reading, and fun component. And it's also kind of described as a literacy program as well. And so to the left there, those are 2 members from the Operation Unite team with the drumming component. And then you can also see that they're doing some reading with the kids as well. So last week, we had the Mad Hatter family at the department. Saturday and Sunday was an opportunity for the public to partake in creating their hat for the parade. And so these were 2 of the guys that made it Saturday at the department working on their hat. As you can tell, it involves a basketball component. So their hat is the hoop, and they're gonna create a ball. And they're gonna give it to folks, and you can kind of dunk on it or shoot a basket there. And so this will be the 7th annual Hudson Mad Hatters Parade and Slam. To my understanding, I think it's rain or shine, but it's planned to take place on Saturday. And the route will start at the Hudson Area Library. they'll make their way down, Warren Street, ending at, Basilica. And so, that's always a high energy, community-based workshop that we support each year, at the department. And I think this year, this past Sunday was an opportunity to, further create your hats at the Spark of Hudson. And so, a lot of our kids, are in the parade, and so it's always cool to see their creativity and what they can drum up. So this here is the flyer that we have out now for the pilot. Again, this will be a 3-week pilot that will kick off this week, and go out for 2 more weeks. It's, open to grades K through 6. And we have the different, slots for those age groups. Registration is available on our webpage, or folks can reach us at the department to register for this program as well.
Are you doing sponsors or is it just the department?
Currently, it's just the Department of Youth. We'll never deny sponsors, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, currently it's just an in-house effort. Just kind of coming both, I think, from parents and us just trying to offer something different. With traditional football, there's a lot of concerns around brain injuries and CTE and this sort. And so we figured we could offer something that isn't out there for this age group. And with the spirit of Olympic sports 2028, the Olympics will be featuring flag football as an Olympic sport. So just kind of drumming up in preparation for that as well.
Well, and the cost is cheaper.
Absolutely,
Right.
in comparison to traditional football,
Absolutely. Yeah.
it's just a matter of getting the flags,
Right, yeah.
Probably a fraction of the cost of traditional football, including, with the helmet and the pads and
Yeah.
the works. And so, certainly much more affordable as well. So this portion is more of an update specific to Oakdale. We are collaborating with Green Agers. And so if you're not familiar with Green Agers, they are a nonprofit organization that offers paid employment, internships, apprenticeships, and educational opportunities for youth and young adults, typically ages 15 to 18, but they kind of stretch that as needed. And it's particularly specific to the fields of environmental conservation, sustainable farming, natural resource management, and vocational skills building. And some of our kids partake in this along with other kids from the area. And again, I think it's a great cause. They're being paid for it, but they're showing up to provide for community. And so for us this year, they supported with trail maintenance and improvement and repairing the bridge that we have. There's a creek that kind of goes through the back there, and they've helped us maintain that bridge. And so, the forest is getting a fresh investment, from our youth through hands-on work, and it's really a win-win.
Now, are the interns local students?
Yes, yep. It was also a collaborative effort with Kite's Nest. They have a program called Regen, which is specific to some of their teams.
Mhm.
And they've also partaken in this effort as well.
I like the cross-pollination that's going on between the youth department and many of the other youth-centric things.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, for us, it's really us doing the most that we can, collaborating with other organizations. Because we may have built it, and perhaps there's a lack of participation. So it's like, okay, how can we get the people to the event that we create? And so, collaborating with youth organizations goes hand in hand.
It's also good not to be siloed.
Right, because we're all here for the youth.
Yeah.
Right? So, absolutely. And this is just some more snapshots of the forest and at Oakdale. There's some fencing up there to preserve some of the plant life. and to kind of deter the deer and such from devastating that wildlife. This slide here was from Earth Day, which was on April 22nd. We were invited to to MC Smith to really just learn and participate in Earth Day with the youth. To the left there, you have Sam Semchenko of the CAC. She is working with the department. We did a tree labeling event that day as well with fifth graders. And so as you're as you're approaching the school on the left-hand side, going along the fireman's home, there are several trees that have been planted. And so with the support of Sam and multiple fifth graders, we went along Harry Howard labeling the different trees along the road there. And, you know, they had a ball. I think it was, for them, I think they were more excited about being outside of the classroom. But it was, you know, it was really an educational day. There were representatives from Senator Barrett's office and Senator Henchy's office. And they got to play as if they were the Senate and vote on the bill that they rejected.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but it was a great day of fun. A lot of trivia about New York State. I learned a lot. We're a big producer of milk, yogurt, which was the yogurt part I wasn't aware of, but that makes sense, right? It goes back to
Amsterdam, I think it's Amsterdam, right, out that way, it's, there's like
the North Country bit.
yeah, I think there was a big warehouse, and I think it's a Greek yogurt, I think it was called or something,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, and I believe the beaver is the state kind of mascot or animal. Yeah, and so a lot of trivia. I learned I am not smarter than a fifth grader that day. So last month, we also did some professional development training. Every year, the New York State Network for Youth Success, otherwise known as NICE, they do an annual conference where they invite all of the school districts, after-school programs, community-based organizations to do training, to do workshops. And so this year was at the Albany Hilton. And so members of the staff and myself attended that. And you know, it's really our opportunity to also network with other districts and maybe kind of share notes. What are you guys doing? Here's some of our issues. How are you guys dealing with those issues? So to that effect, the school district is doing an initiative around increasing student attendance. There are some, you know, some concerns about absenteeism and such. And one of the initiatives that a school presented on was a elementary school out of the Schenectady district. And they offer something pretty neat. It's called the walking school bus. So essentially members of their staff, there's three routes. And so they go into the neighborhood on foot, door to door, gathering the kids. So, you know, we're knocking at Dominic's door. You join the line.
Mhm.
Jennifer lives down the block. We're going to Jennifer's house. We're knocking on.
Can't wake up too early, though.
Can't wake her up too early, right? Hopefully she's ready, right? Otherwise, she might have to catch up to us down the block, right?
I'm an early bird.
Ultimately, they, you know, they bring the kids to school. What I thought was pretty neat was there was a fifth grader who was kind of like the line leader. And so, you know, that was kind of, it was pretty admirable for a fifth grader to be up that early doing that good work. And so,
Well, it's also good exercise, right?
absolutely.
The whole ultimate is getting you healthy.
Right, and getting them to school on time, right? And so, it gained a lot of momentum, in the community. In your free time, you can, there is a clip on YouTube. They were featured on Channel 6 News, kind of speaking to this initiative. And it gained a lot of notoriety. And so, whether if it was, community members or local businesses, they were afforded, essentially some funds to purchase breakfast for the kids. So now, they're picking up the kids and now they can stop and get them a bacon, egg and cheese or an orange juice or something to that effect. So that they can time school to be in class. But, overall, the conference has reinforced that after-school programs and community programs are essential infrastructure for New York families, bridging the gap between classroom learning and real-world success. And then, some of our, upcoming, opportunities, we will be, featuring swimming lessons, again this year. We are still looking to hire for seasonal labor. And, specific to the beach opening, we are planning to open up for a Memorial Weekend. So that, well before camp starts, we open up the beach, and so our guards will be landing in about a week or so to start that prep with getting the lines out into the water. We're getting, knock on wood, we'll be getting fresh sand, if not by Memorial Day, probably at the end of this month. And so
Where's the sand coming? Is that the white sand or?
this sand will not be white. It will be more of like it won't be the dusty like white sand. It'll be much more suitable to our needs here. Man, I have a sample in my office too. I should have brought you a sample. You brought me a gift. I should have brought you. But yes, we're really excited to get the new sand, get the beach back open, and really looking forward to another great summer. That concludes my report.
So, what happened for the April break? Could you stick to the theme during that week with some activities for the kids? I know the after-school program was full thing. So do you remember, during Christmas, you did some unique activities while the kids were out of school? So during April break, that whole week?
We didn't have program during April break. April break was utilized to conduct the interviews and the onboarding for camp. Provided that was an opportunity that the high schoolers were not in school. Some of the college kids were not in school, and so we used that more so for planning purposes.
So who conducted the interviews besides yourself?
Myself, Tyrone, Nakira, we all participated in conducting those interviews.
And how's the staffing look?
It was, we're gonna have to make some tough decisions. We had easily 50 applicants, but we only have room for roughly 16. So, we're gonna have to, send out some rejection letters. But
That's amazing.
yeah, we always have a strong turnout of interest. And we can't hire everyone. And so often what we do is we refer folks over to workforce, through the college. Granted, they may not be able to land back at Oakdale, but at least they have an opportunity to gain employment.
Was there a preference on, especially the students with Hudson residents? Because in the past, yeah, in the past was, the Hudson residents got the first, opportunity, to work.
Yeah, majority, I will certainly keep that in mind. Majority of the applicants are Hudson residents. But I'll certainly keep that in mind in terms of priority.
Actually, that was way back when, right? That was like, the only ones who worked the playground, you had to live in.
Live in city limits, yeah.
And I know, except for the lifeguards, because the lifeguards were a little different in terms of training and everything, and the need was a little different.
Even so, majority, I would say easily 80% of our guards are Hudson High students. Yeah.
Great.
And the way it works is like, it's not out of the norm for a counselor to have siblings at camp. It's makeup of Hudson.
And how, I know we spoke a little bit in, about, the game plan for the camp director.
Yes, yep. And so, yeah, we do have a candidate, that has accepted, the offer.
Right.
Really at this point, it's just, finalizing the onboarding, of the applicant. I think they'll really be a difference maker, provided their background. They work at the district, as a, long-term sub. And I think through that, they've had an opportunity already to develop a rapport with a lot of our kids, truthfully, and they know them already. So, that helps. And you can't really, I think what I like, the most about this candidate is you can't really teach passion. You either come with that, or hopefully you learn it. But I think they're really passionate about the work that they do. And they really want to ensure that the kids have the best experience at program.
And this is gonna be the camp director, part-time, just running camp.
Correct. Yes. Yep.
Well, again, yeah, I mean, it's nice to have, especially with kids, if there's a comfortability with the individual. I was very fortunate when I ran the camp in Copic. I tapped into the Hudson School District, right? And you got a lot of the aides, a couple of teachers that worked, and half the kids knew.
Right.
It's so that especially kids that are a little nervous in the beginning, younger ones, right?
Yep.
To not, first time in or whatever. So
Right.
familiarity is definitely a benefit.
Absolutely.
And so the rainy day plan is still the firehouse.
Yes, so, we're gonna utilize, three locations, the firehouse being one of them, so we're gonna place our 11 through 13, group at the firehouse. Our, working backwards, our, 8 to 10 pod at the, youth center, and our 5 to 7 group at the library.
Okay.
Just for like visual purposes, on those days, we typically don't get on those rainy days, we typically don't get as many kids, on a regular day. So we feel confident that we'll be able to support all three groups at those locations.
No, I think that's when it rained at a certain time, right? There was no alternative, so just.
Very true.
Camp, if the camp was closed and, so, having the alternative, parents knowing ahead of time
Right,
that there is an option, I think that's great.
right,
And when you spread that out too, I think it's gonna help with supervision and activities, right? So you
Indeed, yeah.
can cater the activities for that age group.
right.
Yeah.
And, we're also securing, we're just finalizing the logistics of busing, of transportation, so we will have transportation again this summer. which
And
is always
that's the one paid by the county.
Yes, yep.
Great.
So I know the answer to this, but I think you should let people who might watch this online,
Yeah,
tell them about the Swan.
the Swan, yes, so, for those of you that may frequent Oakdale or frequent the Hudson Community Board, there was a Swan, at Oakdale that really just kind of popped up. And it was quite, well, I'll speak for myself, it was a beautiful sight, to see the Swan out there. And fortunately, the Swan has since been removed. It actually belonged to a person in community. And so they were.
They got away?
They can fly.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, no, I'm saying, did they know it was there by someone
They
saying?
saw it on
I
the
think,
community
I
board.
think it got brought to the attention via the community.
Because when I thought there was the Swan and the geese there.
Yeah, the geese were, they were just doing their, doing their thing.
Uh-huh.
And, the owner, was made aware, that, the Swan was at Oakdale. And they did come and, retrieve, their Swan. And so, it was, I was speaking to Jennifer about it, I was learning because it is out of the norm for a swan just to kind of be solo.
And be single, yeah, yeah, usually more, you know, that.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
And, you know, learning that they can be very territorial. And my fear was like, oh man, my littles are the size of this swan. And, you know, I would hate for that swan to try to charge or, you know, attack.
well, the wingspan is incredibly long, that can be frightening too, just the wingspan, yeah.
Yeah,
that's all, I was telling him, at first I felt bad for the swan because it was a single swan, and then I felt bad for the kids, I was like, oh my God, we're gonna have all these tiny children running around.
right.
Well, just, you know, just heads up, if you ever have the turkey experience, because they can be very. I had 4 turkeys at work last week. We had a double glass door like that,
Mhm.
knocking. I got a video, of it, just knocking. I thought someone was at the door, and it's a big turkey, male turkey, knocking at the door.
Be careful of the big birds.
Yeah, no. Is there any questions from the public?
No.
Not online? Anything online? Anything online?
No.
Great. Anything else, Mr. Lewis?
That is all that I have for the evening.
Oh, okay, and, so my next adventure is hopefully I get it by summer, is I love the metal, I don't know if you still have the metal detector, but I'm gonna get a metal detector, and maybe we can do an activity with kids on the sand,
Oh, wow.
you know,
We have the metal detector.
I donated one 4 or 5 years ago,
Okay,
so I don't know if it's still around, but
okay.
I have another one somewhere a little higher, and I have to find it, and so, you know, I did it with my daughter,
Yeah.
and I got these little metal, kind of like iron coins or something.
Yeah.
It's like gold,
Oh.
maybe kind of cool to bury them,
Mhm.
and be an activity for the kids to
They would,
find and.
I would love that.
But they might they might end up with a ring or something, somebody might have lost, so there might be some value, right?
Absolutely.
But, yeah, so I'll be in touch when I get a hold of that, when my wife finds out where she's sitting.
Yeah. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I definitely like that.
Oh, thanks, and, if there's no more, I guess we'll have a motion to adjourn, our informal.
I'll make that motion.
Well, thank you. Linda, want to second it, Linda?
There's no one else here.
Thank you, Calvin, thank you, everybody, thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Calvin.
Logan.